What's up, guys? Welcome back to the channel. Here we are with another reaction, and this one we have Jaishankar's sharp war of words with British foreign Sissy, I hope I said that right, over sanctions on Russia. Oh, I'm excited to dive into this one. Before we do, if you guys happen to enjoy, please don't forget to smash that subscribe button, give a video a thumbs up, and let's check out how these two went at each other.
If you look at the major buyers of oil and gas from Russia, I think you'd find most of them are in Europe.
And necessarily, dependency on energy or dependency on technology takes time to address.
Month of March, Europe has bought, I think, 15% more oil and gas from Russia.
India is a sovereign nation. I'm not going to tell India what to do.
We've seen for some time what looks almost like a campaign on this issue.
I feel like definitely it feels like what's been a campaign on the issue. I don't know how you can buy anything from Russia and then tell India they shouldn't be buying certain things from Russia. It's like the West wants to play by its own rules, but once you decide that, hey, we don't want to follow the rules that y'all play by, then the West is up in arms. Like, we want y'all to stop buying oil from India, but we still gonna get energy and gas from India. I mean, we stop buying oil from Russia, but we still gonna get energy and gas from Russia. If that's not hypocrisy, the definition of the word, I don't know what is. It takes time to get different alternatives, I guess she said, from the dependency of energy and gas. And so I guess they're looking into other sources. Why aren't you saying the same thing for India? But again, at the end of the day, you do what's best for your country, but it's not for you to go and try to tell India how they should run their country. India gonna do what's in the best interest of India, and they not care how you feel about it. Okay, but here we go. Jaishankar, give it to her, man.
Other countries' decisions about the issues that they face. India is a sovereign nation. I'm not going to tell India what to do.
Don't.
What I've said is...
Should have ended right there. India is a sovereign nation. I'm not going to tell India what to do. So then don't proceed to try to tell them what to do then. Stop it.
As a member of the UK government that has signed up to the Budapest Memorandum, I feel a strong responsibility on behalf of the United Kingdom to take all the action we can to support the people of Ukraine. But that is not the same as going around telling other countries what to do.
We've seen for some time what looks almost like a campaign on this issue.
Yeah.
Now, I was just reading a report today that in the month of March, Europe has bought, I think, 15% more oil and gas from Russia than it did the month before. If you look at the major buyers of oil and gas from Russia, I think you'd find most of them are in Europe.
So how
We ourselves get the bulk of our energy supplies from the Middle East, about 7.5%, 8% of our oil from the US. In the past, maybe less than 1% from Russia. When oil prices go up, I think it's natural for countries.
they get less than a
from
percent.
Russia.
We get less than 1% of our oil. I honestly did not know that. I thought like they had got a lot of freaking oil from Russia. So these countries talking to India and trying to tell them who they should buy oil from, and they getting less than 1% of their oil from Russia in the first place. And these countries been up in arms about. What on earth? What? That don't. Now that don't make no sense.
Russia. When oil prices go up, I think it's natural for countries to go out
For
into the
sure.
market and look for what are good deals for their people.
Definitely.
But I am pretty sure if we wait 2 or 3 months and actually look at who are the big buyers of Russian gas and oil, I suspect the list won't be very different from what it used to be, and I suspect we won't be in the top 10 on that list.
Over a number of years, Europe prioritised cheap gas, cheap goods over looking at our long-term security. And we didn't do enough when Putin invaded Crimea. We didn't do enough to involve ourselves in the Minsk agreements. And we are now seeing the result of that. And necessarily, dependency on energy or dependency on technology takes time to address. So we're now removing Huawei from UK telecoms networks, but that takes time. We're reducing and eliminating our dependence on Russian oil and gas, and that takes time. Now, I think the biggest danger at the moment is that we let our foot off the gas on sanctions, and we can't do that.
Yeah. So she's like, yeah, you're right. But dependency on it takes time to address, and we should have did more then, but you didn't. But you should have, would have, could have, but didn't when they invaded Crimea. And now you're trying to start to cut off that line where you start to cut off buying oil and energy from Russia, but you have such a dependency on it, so you're gonna have to figure it out. But at the end of the day, I think each country, you make the best deal for yourself, not price wise, but she said for security, long term security, we bought cheap gas instead of long term security. So take all the factors you need to take into play and do what's best for your country, but don't judge another country for doing the same, or don't make another country feel like it's doing something wrong for doing the same.
Russia or crisis in Ukraine has demonstrated is the resilience of democracy and of free people. We've also seen a huge response from democratic societies and indeed resistance in Russia. People being prepared to demonstrate in Russia against what is happening. So I think it has shown the resilience of free societies and the importance of being able to speak freely, the importance of being able to select your own government.
But if I were to sort of give you a global reading, I would say some of it also depends on proximity. Some of it depends on how strongly a particular country or society relates to what is happening. And again, the example I would use is Afghanistan. I think what we saw happening in Afghanistan last summer had a very, very strong impact, certainly in India. I probably would say it didn't have the same impact in Europe. I think people didn't necessarily relate to the coming of the Taliban the same way. They didn't identify with the people who were affected in the same way.
Yep. So in that one, for sure, he's saying a lot of democracies are making a stand against Russia and are coming out and saying things. But again, like he said, that also depends on proximity. Like nobody came with the situation in Afghanistan was affecting Indians. Europe didn't say, you know what, we need to stop doing, everybody needs to stop doing this with Afghanistan, stop, and all these democracies come because it didn't affect them. Why it had an effect on India? It was like, well, Europe's like, that's not us, so we're good. Now that Russia invading Ukraine shows an effect in India. Now we want everybody to take a stand against Russia. So I think Jaishankar said it in another video. Europe can't act like the world's problems are not their problems, but their problems are the world's problems. 100%. I feel like that's just hypocrisy for sure. And y'all let me know how y'all feel on it. I know Jaishankar, y'all ain't gonna, nobody gonna get the best of Jaishankar when talking about this stuff. He gonna make you see just how hypocritical your statements are. But that's all we got. If you guys enjoyed, don't forget to subscribe, get a video a thumbs up, and check out the next one. And I'll see you guys next time.